Well, thanks for staying with us here on Times Now. Times Now has accessed intercepts that expose Dira and the state. The call intercept with your channel shows how Gurmeet Rahim planned the mayhem, which claimed the lives of 36 people and left over 250 injured.
ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੇਜਤੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ। ਬੰਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਕੱਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ 300-350 ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਟੈਂਪੂ 407 ਟੈਂਪੂ ਸੀਗੇ, 5-7-6 ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ 2 ਬੱਸਾਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਬਾਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਕੋਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਧਨ ਸੀਗੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ
250 ਬੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, 250 ਬੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਰੀ ਹੋਣਗੇ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ।
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਣੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਲੇ ਕੱਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਾਇਓ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੋ ਵੀ
ਜਦੋਂ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ
ਨਹੀਂ ਹਮਲਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਪਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਏ ਆ। ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ। ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਉਹ
ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ। ਉਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ, ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਾਂ ਲੈਣਗੇ।
ਆਹੋ ਨਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਏ ਆ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਜਾਣਾ?
ਮੇਰੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ, ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ, ਬੈਠੀਆਂ ਨੇ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਬਿਆਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਜੈਸੀ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚਦਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ।
ਤੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਿਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ, ਥੋੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਓ ਫਿਰ, ਕੋਈ ਨਾ, ਬੰਦੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ।
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਗੁਪਤਾ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਏ?
ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਯਾਰ ਭਰਾਵਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਘਰ ਦੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਰੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਮੈਂ ਆਊਂਗਾ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਹੁੰਚੂਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਨੀਲ ਕੁਮਾਰ ਸਿਰਸੇ ਵਾਲੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਨਾ ਜਾਇਓ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਭੇਜੋ ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ ਆਪ ਜਾਇਓ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ। ਤੇ ਉਹ ਲੰਗਰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਗਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਚਲਾਉਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਏਰੀਏ ਚੋਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਅੱਜ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸਟੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ?
ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕਦਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਫੋਨ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਚਕੂਲੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਬੈਠੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਸਿਰਸੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ। ਓਕੇ,
ਉੱਥੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ ਨਗਰ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਲਿਓ, ਆਪਣੇ ਦੀਪਕ ਨੂੰ।
ਹਾਂ ਦੀਪਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੀਪਕ ਦੀ ਕਾਲ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ।
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ
ਬਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਮੁੜੇ ਆਉਣਾ,
ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਦਾ ਵੀ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਛ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ। ਬਾਕੀ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆ। ਉਹ ਲੁਕੋ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਐਵੇਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਆਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਮਾਂ ਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼। ਬਸ ਜਦ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਕੰਮ, ਦੂਏ ਲੋਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਉਹ। ਓਕੇ, ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ।
ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ।
We have Panchkula's Commissioner A.S. Chawla with us. So first of all, what is the ground situation and is the adequate number of forces present on spot, sir?
Yes, the ground situation ever since the incident happened on 25th, since 25th evening, the ground situation has been perfectly normal, and there has been not a single case of any report of any kind of violence oblique any kind of rioting anywhere in the whole district of Panchkula.
My issue is now there are certain videos that are coming on record which suggest that DERA was asking its workers in code language to spread violence. Now, is that come to your notice also, sir?
Yes, lot of things are coming to our notice. Many cases have already been registered. More complaints are pouring in, and the cases are being registered, and the investigations are following. We do have such things coming on record with us.
Now, audio also claimed that they asked their DERA premies to gather all kind of lathis, weapons. Now, that has also come to your notice, sir. What is that's come to your notice, sir?
See, there are a few, since all these cases, once they are registered, investigation becomes very serious. I may not be able to reveal all operational details to you, but certainly we have specific incriminating evidences and we are gathering them, and certainly law will take its own course.
Another important aspect is now that the jail has been shifted to Rohtak. Do you think that in tomorrow there could be any problem? Are there any DERA premies inside the limits of Panchkula, sir, now?
See, there could be certain people who have loyalties to the DERA and are maybe having a house there or here, but certainly that will, and I am emphasizing it, nobody has the right to take law in their own hands, and for sure anybody who thinks of doing anything wrong, law will be very harsh and strict. We will not let anybody commit any kind of an arson or violence anywhere.
Well, my colleagues Bhavtosh and Vishal are now live with us. Bhavtosh, to you first. Now, this man who was masquerading as a religious guru has now been completely exposed, because it is clear that he was the man who instigated the sort of violence that we saw after the verdict.
Wherein he's not only a rape accused, he's also charged with murder.
Well, I think we've got some trouble there with Bhavtosh's line, but let me go across to Vishal. Now, Vishal, the fact of the matter is, let me put that question to you. This man was masquerading as a religious leader, but here he is clearly, there was some support for the kind of violence and the gundasm we saw on the streets of Panchkula after the verdict.
Yes, indeed. Not only the audio recording, but also on ground it has been corroborated. We'd shown you how his swanky SUV and also his fire brigade vehicle, there were certain chemicals which were used by these DERA premies to really burn Panchkula. And that is a very crucial piece of evidence. As you heard the Commissioner, I'm right now standing outside the office of Commissioner, he categorically stated that they have received several intelligence input and also audio and video recordings, and that has been corroborated on ground. There were certain chemicals which were used by the DERA premies to burn Panchkula. Now this is a matter of record. They are saying that they will produce it in a court of law. They cannot disclose what these chemicals were, but indeed the police is saying that they have a watertight case against the DERA Sacha Sauda. Earlier he has been booked, he's been convicted in the rape case. Now he's been branded as a rapist, but there is a murder case pending against him. There is a castration case pending against him, and now waging war against the country. That is what he's saying, that several FIRs have been filed against the DERA premies, waging war against the country, and
Absolutely.
the chemicals that has been recovered really proves that there was pre-planned to burn Panchkula. This was not spontaneous. This was a part of a larger conspiracy which was really pre-planned by the DERA administration, DERA management, and DERA chief and DERA management people were involved totally in the burning of Panchkula. It is not a spontaneous event that happened after the verdict of DERA chief.
Right, Vishal, stay with us. Let's open this up a little bit. Joined in the program by Acharya Vikramaditya, who's a spiritual guru, Trisha Shetty, who's a lawyer and founder of She Says Foundation, and also Sujay Kantawala in our Mumbai studio, senior lawyer. Sujay Kantawala, to you, you heard the audio there. What case can one make against those who instigated the violence on the ground in Panchkula?
Yeah, the tapes actually reveal damning evidence, and this is highly incriminating. If it is somehow or the other linked to the DERA chief, then he has got serious issues coming up, because now FIRs have been filed waging war against the country, murder. So many people have lost their lives. Hundreds and hundreds of crores of property has been damaged. And there was a mayhem. The people of the surrounding areas went through severe trauma. So I feel that at this stage, without wasting any time, there should be a three-judge commission, not one, three-judge retired judges of the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court, who know the whole territory and local area. They should be appointed and requested to man the commission so that evidences are not lost. And as Mr. Chawla, the commissioner, said on your channel, that they have also been getting a lot of such intercept messages. Now, there is one more issue, Viren. If these intercepts were available before the event took place, that again will be an issue which the commission will have to go into, that what were the authorities doing at that time.
Yeah, what were they doing? If they knew, what were they doing? Acharya Vikramaditya, now this man, is supposed to be a religious guru. Which religious guru goes out and incites his own supporters to, throw stones on this sort of violence that we saw? Which spiritual guru does that?
Certainly this is anti-national activities and this organization is involved in, and after so many years, so many people have against worked them, basically. So even the government was very well aware of these activities which were being done in these deras from last so many years. They were having special reports, they were having the complaints against, but because of the political reasons, people were not taking any action. So why this action has been taken so late? When the report was around 15 years back, and this letter was written to each and every person, the charge sheet was filed in 2007. How come these activities were not, government was not aware? Government was very well aware, but they were not taking action just because of their personal motives. So how can, if some person taking the dress of the sadhu comes in this noble work, so he is not a sadhu, he is not a saint person. He is indulged in all these activities from last so many years, and each and every person of the government was very well aware. If they have not taken the action, the action should be taken against the concerned persons. True. And if somebody is calling himself a self-made guru, it doesn't mean that the people should follow him as in a spiritual manner.
Absolutely. Let me put that question to Trisha Shetty now. Either Trisha Shetty, the Chief Minister of Haryana, had no clue how to handle the situation on the ground.
India is a spiritual country.
Either he was complicit or he was completely ignorant of what was going on. I mean, it has to be one of the two. I don't see how there could be any other option as far as the Chief Minister is concerned.
I completely agree. The incompetence he has shown in handling this situation is not just astounding, but it is Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Yes, so I was saying the incompetence that the Chief Minister has shown in handling this situation is not just astounding, but it's absolutely deplorable and unacceptable. I am glad that our Honorable Prime Minister has come out today vociferously condemning and the activities that have gone and said that no one is above the law. Well, if that is the case, and it rightly should be the case, then where is accountability from this Chief Minister's end? Why, after Section 144 was enforced, was this rapist Rahim allowed to come with a cavalcade of 200 plus cars? After he was convicted as a rapist, why was he allowed to leave? That image of him in his chopper eating a chocolate with his adopted daughter is so perturbing and disturbing. Is that the message we're sending out? That convicted rapists will be treated to red carpet treatment, where we have deputy attorney generals hold his briefcase as though his personal potters. Like, we've made a mockery out of our whole democratic system. So of course the Chief Minister must be held accountable, reprimanded and asked to step down. This is where our Prime Minister should have come out and also condemned the Chief Minister's incompetence.
We all are raising our voice now.
I don't think his behavior should be acceptable in any way.
No, he's of course got, Swami Acharya Vikramaditya, he's clearly got patronage in the past as well. It's not only this government, but here and now, it's this government which has allowed all of this to play out. Let me put that question to Prashant as well. Now, Prashant, you had a number of, I don't have Prashant with me, but Sujay Kantawala, you had a number of ministers also go out and give these people a clean sheet. They've come there with the right intentions, they've not resorted to any violence, but it's very clear you can't allow thousands of people to gather outside a court on a day when this man is going to be sent, is going to be pronounced, a verdict will be pronounced.
Especially, right, especially when 144 has been clamped down. then there are prohibitory orders. Anything more than the required amount is an unlawful assembly. And that should have set the cat amongst the pigeons. Alarm bell should have rung immediately. I mean, it's staring at us in plain white. So then you have 20 to 25,000 people gherawing the CBI court. Now what is this? Are you trying to intimidate an honest judge? Are you trying to interfere with the course of administration of justice? This is impermissible in our society. We have never seen these kind of terrible scenes that have been flashing from the last couple of days. So therefore this cannot be a precedent. This has to stop. This has to be made a test case, and therefore proper orders need. Now what is important over here is this. If it is held that by the fact-finding commission, impartial judicial body, that he is responsible directly or vicariously, then all these properties that have been attached provisionally, they all need to be sold, and thereafter that corpus has to go towards compensation, because people have lost their hard-earned earnings, people have lost their lives. Who is going to pay for all this? Ultimately this will have to at some stage lead to that result. And what is otherwise is also important, as I said earlier, before any evidence is lost and before certain witnesses are not available for examination, and especially that chemical that we saw over here, which immediately was catching fire, and all those vehicles, etc. Now where did all that come from? Absolutely. These poor people cannot afford these kind of expensive explosive chemicals. So therefore they were planted. If that is proved by the independent judicial body, then serious questions arise over here.
Absolutely. And Acharya Vikramaditya, this cover of, them being emotional, in an emotional state, it being an emotional reaction goes completely out of the window, because the audio tapes prove completely otherwise. This is well thought out and well planned.
Certainly, it seems to me, as per the audio tapes which you are showing on the TV, it clearly sees this thing. This is an organized crime. The people, they are indulged in these activities. The strong action have to be taken, so that otherwise the people will keep on coming in this field. India is a spiritual country, as I say, and the people are very emotional point of a person. They basically just like if there is some spiritual person is giving some lectures and sermons, they follow this thing. But if the person who is having a bad intention comes in this field, they can easily fool people. It looks to me that this case is very similar to that. The people are taking the emotional point of view. They are just playing with the emotions of the people. Yeah, the law have to take an immediate and organized action in this regard.
Yeah, very quickly,
Viren, I just got a thought. I mean, out of the box. Also that fact-finding commission will have to go into the fact whether actually there were some antisocial elements that took advantage of this situation and actually crept into this and took advantage, and so all these things will have to be gone into in an impassionate way.
Absolutely. Let me go across to Mohit, who's now joining us live from Rohtak. Mohit, of course, now on the ground, it's a very difficult situation to deal with. Of course, the army has been called in, paramilitary forces are in place, the police as well would, have to be completely on alert to ensure that we don't see the repeat of what happened after the special CBI court in Panchkula.
Well, once again, there's a slight correction in that currently it seems that the Haryana police is also currently just banking on the paramilitary support. While the DC here, the Deputy Commissioner had asked for additional army columns to be deployed here, it seems that the police here has said a complete no to the army deployment. They've said that they are adequate enough, and adding to that, they've said that the paramilitary forces or personnel who've already been deployed here are adequate enough. So it seems that once again the Haryana police is making one of the same mistakes which it did in Panchkula. They are claiming that they are completely prepared for whatever may happen tomorrow in and around the Sonaria area, the Sonaria district jail area, but it seems that we could once again see the same situation. We have been getting intel inputs from our sources in the police department as well. They have completely said that there is a possibility of around 30,000 followers of Dera Dera Sacha Sauda once again coming in here. Given, once again, I would like to firstly show that, currently as of now, the Haryana police is trying to make sure, that no unwanted people are here. They're trying to ensure that every car that gets through on this highway towards the Suneria jail is currently constantly searched, and the entire area is monitored. But it raises a lot of questions as to why are they not ready to seek help from the army. We just spoke to ADG Mohammad Akil, and he completely refuted that they are fully prepared, and these were the same statements which were also coming ahead of Panchkula also. We heard how the senior cops present in Panchkula was sure as to there would be no
Panchkula. That was called preparedness. Then really God help us all, and unfortunately God help the people of Rohtak this time, who could be at the receiving end of the gundaism by these so-called previes of this so-called godman. We're slipping the short break. The latest after the break. Well, thanks for staying with us here on Times. Now, the Prime Minister has sent out a strong message in his Mann Ki Baat address. Condemning violence in any form, the Prime Minister said his government won't spare the guilty. His remark comes on the back of incidents of violence in Haryana, Bengal and Kerala. But the opposition has chosen to politicize the remark, asking the Prime Minister to first walk the talk by sacking the Chief Minister for failing to stop the mayhem in Haryana.
जब हिंसा की खबरें आती हैं तो देश को चिंता होना बड़ा स्वाभाविक है। ये हमारा देश बुद्ध और गांधी का देश है। देश की एकता के लिए जी जान लगाने देने वाले सरदार पटेल का देश है। सदियों से हमारे पूर्वजों ने सार्वजनिक जीवन मूल्यों को, अहिंसा को, समादर को स्वीकार किया हुआ है, हमारी जहन में भरा हुआ है। अहिंसा परमो धर्म, ये हम बचपन से सुनते आए हैं, कहते आए हैं। मैंने लाल किले से भी कहा था कि आस्था के नाम पर हिंसा बर्दाश्त नहीं होगी, चाहे वो सांप्रदायिक आस्था हो, चाहे वो राजनीतिक विचारधाराओं के प्रति आस्था हो, चाहे वो व्यक्ति के प्रति आस्था हो, चाहे वो परंपराओं के प्रति आस्था हो। आस्था के नाम पर कानून हाथ में लेने का किसी को अधिकार नहीं है। डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर ने हमें जो संविधान दिया है, उसमें हर व्यक्ति को न्याय पाने की हर प्रकार की व्यवस्था है। मैं देशवासियों को विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, कानून हाथ में लेने वाले, हिंसा के राह पर दमन करने वाले किसी को भी, चाहे वो व्यक्ति हो या समूह हो, न ये देश कभी बर्दाश्त करेगा और न ही कोई सरकार बर्दाश्त करेगी। हर किसी को कानून के सामने झुकना होगा, कानून जवाबदेही तय करेगा और दोषितों को सजा देके रहेगा।
Well, that was the Prime Minister there making that ahimsa appeal. Let me go across to Anisha, who's joining us from the national capital. Anisha, the Prime Minister really sending out a tough message that those who took the law into their own hands under whatever excuse, they will not be spared for the actions they committed.
Well, yes, the Prime Minister has, from in his Mann Ki Baat and from his address on Independence Day, said that ahimsa and needs to be looked into is the guiding principle of our country. Our country is the land of Gandhi, the land of Mahatma Buddha, and the unity and security of the country are the most important things. Today also, 2 days after the violence hit Haryana and Punjab, he has again said that violence in the name of a religion, a person, an ideology will not be tolerated. And with the way he has worded it, saying that ideology or person or political leaning, all of it encompasses all the violence that this country has seen in the recent days all across the country, not just with the Dera Sacha Sauda's followers, but also in other parts of the country. Now it remains to be seen, as the opposition has pointed out, what the government actually does. While the Prime Minister has taken a very tough stand in his Mann Ki Baat, it is yet to be seen what action will actually be taken. The opposition is obviously baying for blood. They are saying that Khattar government should be dismissed. They have said serious action needs to be taken against a lot of cases that have happened, including the violence between the the left and the right in Kerala that has been the subject of headlines for several days now. Now, what the government finally does take action against them, as the Prime Minister has today warned that not the country, the people and the government will not tolerate this kind of violence in the name of anything. Now, we must also remember that after the violence 2 days ago, the courts have also come down very heavily on the BJP government, saying that some action needed to have taken, that the government has failed in its duty to protect the people of Haryana and Punjab. The Khattar government has particularly come under the very, very serious criticism by the High Court in Chandigarh. All of that is something that the government will have to look into, and now with the Prime Minister now taking a very tough stand, talking about India's history of ahimsa, India's cultural heritage of peace and prosperity, it remains to be seen what happens now. Back to you.
Well, absolutely, Anisha, and the message there from the Prime Minister going out to people across the country. We saw him, of course, talk about virtually mentioning Bengal, Haryana, as well as Kerala, where we've seen, unfortunately, multiple deaths in recent weeks and months. Bhavtosh also with us. Bhavtosh, the Prime Minister abjuring violence in every way, shape and form, says no cover of religious ideology or support to any sort of person is excusable, that action needs to be taken against these people.
Yes, Viren, the most important takeaway of Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat is the fact that he had said that no group can think that they are above law and strictest possible action will be taken. It's also a signal and a signal to Khattar government that he should deal with all these deras, be it the Dera Sacha Sauda or any other such religious sect. They should be dealt firmly. They are not vote bank of any political party, and if they break law, then action should be taken against them. One hopes that tomorrow, when the quantum of sentence is announced, the Haryana government does much more professional work than what they had done in past, because what we have witnessed in past 4 days is rioting, violence, and the state government has remained a mute spectator.
Right, Bhavtosh, stay with me. I've got Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party joining us on the phone line. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you heard the message from the Prime Minister abjuring violence in every way, shape and form. Of course, sending out a message to the whole country that violence under whatever excuse will not be tolerated.
Well, a good message from the Prime Minister is welcome for the entire country, and every citizen must respect it. However, the people who disrespect his own message are people in his own party and the governments that are run by BJP. If his message would have reached Haryana and if the Chief Minister would have acted, we would not have seen Haryana burn, people living in fear, or Panchkula burn. So I welcome the message, but I see there is a clear lack of conviction in his own appeal when it comes to action by his own party. And you've seen enough instances in the past 3 years where violence has become part of the political narrative of India. This is a time that India has not seen in the recent past. When progress had to be the central narrative, violence has become a narrative, and if the Prime Minister has conviction, he would take further action so that his party members do not divide the society and do not encourage violence.
Well, also sending out a message that Ghanshyam Tiwari to other political parties also, whether they will also fall in line, because we can't afford to have Sujay Kantawala, the kind of political behind the scenes games being played. One blame the other blame the other, because unfortunately we're seeing all this violence unfortunately being overshadowed by the kind of politics that's played unfortunately over these incidents.
Yeah, and the whole world is watching, Viren. The people are all over the world are watching your channel, and they see these appalling images. So therefore, it is high time that we don't see any such repeat. And the investigating agencies as well as our police forces, they are prepared, because if these intercepts are available now and they are flashing across, then obviously they are in the data bank and they can take adequate measures, because tomorrow is the sentencing.
Well, absolutely, and tomorrow that's what everyone's really going to be looking forward to. Ghanshyam Tiwari, the opposition has really been calling for the Chief Minister to step down from his position, saying that he's failed to act. Is that a fair call, or do you think that perhaps we need to show a little restraint as well as far as the politics is concerned?
Well, the morale of every person in Haryana is down because they elected a government who eventually ran on the wishes of Rahim, a convicted rapist. So it's not just the opposition. The media, people in Haryana are asking the questions on accountability. We saw what happened in Uttar Pradesh. Till date, we do not have a good reason why 60 children had to die, why oxygen was not made available, and who was accountable. We see what is happening with the rail tragedy, and we are seeing the same repeat in Haryana. BJP, in its arrogance, has forgotten its prime responsibility towards people, that governance and accountability go hand in hand, and you cannot use one hat to ask for votes, another hat to run the government. People will respond to BJP's arrogance in elections to come.
But unfortunately, Ghanshyam Tiwari, stay with me. Sujay Kantawala, we've seen pictures, I mean, you've seen them yourselves, of basically top political leaders who've gone and bowed at the feet of this so-called godman. It's the kind of political patronage that individuals like these are given, which is the cause of, them thinking that they are a law unto themselves.
Yeah, because real teachers and real saints, they don't exhibit this kind of absurd kind of lifestyle. So therefore, he was having a massive ego, and when that ego got crushed after being convicted for rape, naturally he has nothing more to lose. He knows that he has nothing more to lose. So therefore now it is very important that the state machinery, the investigating agencies, the police, they all are in sync with each other, and they are exchanging information and seeing to it, because tomorrow is the sentencing. You see, a case is not over, not complete till the sentencing is done, the actual sentence is pronounced, and the law as it stands on the date of the commission of the offence will be applied. So now the honorable judge is going to deliver the quantum of sentence, that is tomorrow, and therefore there possibly, as we've heard earlier also, there is a possibility, because 30,000 people, there is a message which has flashed. So I'm sure that to avoid any further, and what is more appalling is that all these rioters, these antisocial elements, they entered even government buildings. True. And I'm appalled at the kind of loss that must have taken place of original documents, original records. Income tax office was entered into, vandalized.
Money that taxpayers like you and me have paid to the government. We're back with some breaking news on the big breaking story out of Haryana now. After Times Now exposed how residents were holed up in Dera headquarters, Sirsa district collector has said that those who want to go out of the premises of the Dera will be provided transportation by the government. It's a mega Times Now impact. Prashant is now joining us on the phone line. Prashant, it seems the administration has finally stepped in. Times Now exposed how these individuals were virtually left hostage inside the Dera headquarters, but the state will now help them leave if they want to.
Absolutely, Viren, and this is perhaps one of the mega Times Now impact story that just an hour ago we had reported how people were held hostage, how people who wanted to come out were, being persuaded by the Dera supporters not to go out so that the cloud could continue of the Baba. Now what we are given to believe is that the district collector himself has come out and admitted that those who want to come out of the Dera will be facilitated at government transportation and they'll be taken back to the safe shelters before that particular verdict, the quantum of verdict that is to be announced tomorrow. But clearly this is very big, provided the kind of statements that we heard since morning. The people who wanted to come out, they were being requested, being persuaded, being pressurized not to go out. Now on one side, while the government is providing the transportation to these people, on the other hand you have announcements coming in from Dera not to leave the Dera premises. So This is exactly where the thing stands now, and this is perhaps one of the biggest development in the story as of now.
Absolutely, and they should of course be given some help to in fact leave those premises if they're being held hostage against their will. Thanks Prashant for joining us. Now Times has accessed call intercepts of Dera supporters scheming the entire havoc which unfolded in Haryana. The state police has also confirmed the planning that took place during the incident that killed 36 people.
ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ। ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭੇਜਤੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ। ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਕੱਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ 300-350 ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਕਿੰਨੇ ਟੈਂਪੂ ਭਰੇ ਨੇ? ਟੈਂਪੂ ਤੇ 407 ਟੈਂਪੂ ਸੀਗੇ, 5-6 ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ 2 ਬੱਸਾਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ। ਬਾਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਕੋਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਾਧਨ ਸੀਗੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ
250 ਬੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, 250 ਬੰਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦੀ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਲਈ, ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਬਰੀ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ।
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਣੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਲੇ ਕੱਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਾਇਓ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੋ ਵੀ
ਜਦੋਂ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ
ਨਹੀਂ
ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਦਾ
ਹਮਲਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ,
ਹਮਲਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਪਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਏ ਆ, ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ। ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ
ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ, ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ।
ਆਹੋ ਕੋਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਏ ਆ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਜਾਣਾ?
ਮੇਰੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ, ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ, ਬੈਠੀਆਂ ਨੇ,
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ
ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ,
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਬਿਆਨ ਦੇਣਾ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਆਨ ਜੈਸੀ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਪਹੁੰਚਦਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਕੇ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ।
ਤੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਿਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ, ਥੋੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਓ, ਫਿਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ, ਬੰਦੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਲੈ ਜਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ।
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਗੁਪਤਾ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਗਏ?
ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਯਾਰ ਭਰਾਵਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਘਰ ਦੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਉਰੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੈਂ ਆਉਂਗਾ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਹੁੰਚੂਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਨੀਲ ਕੁਮਾਰ ਸਿਰਸੇ ਵਾਲੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਨਾ ਜਾਇਓ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਭੇਜੋ ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੋਂ ਆਪ ਜਾਇਓ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਲੰਗਰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੰਗਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਚਲਾਉਣਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਏਰੀਏ ਚੋਂ ਜਾਣਾ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸਟੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ?
ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਮੇਰਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕਦਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਫੋਨ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਚਕੂਲੇ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਬੈਠੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਸਿਰਸੇ ਪਹੁੰਚਣਾ। ਓਕੇ,
ਉੱਥੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ ਨਗਰ ਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਲਿਓ, ਆਪਣੇ ਦੀਪਕ ਨੂੰ।
ਹਾਂ, ਦੀਪਕ ਨੂੰ ਦੀਪਕ ਦੀ ਕਾਲ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ
ਬਿਆਨ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਮੁੜੇ ਆਉਣਾ,
ਅਰੇਂਜਮੈਂਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਦਾ ਵੀ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਛ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆ। ਉਹ ਲੁਕੋ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਐਵੇਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਆਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਮਾਂ ਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼, ਬਸ ਜਦ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਕੰਮ, ਦੂਏ ਲੋਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਉਹ।
ਓਕੇ,
ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ।
ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਹੀ ਆਸਰਾ।